Hello viewers, welcome to Ultimate Gaming Guide. Welcome to another computer upgrade tutorial. This time it is the Lenovo FX series desktop. They used to sell these things on Best Buy back in the days when Windows 10 was the go-to system, but they don't sell it anymore. This has been discontinued. This is one of those computers where you cannot do much because this thing comes with a very weak CPU. So I would only suggest upgrading this computer if you have it like laying around, or you got it for free, or you got it for really cheap. So you just want to experiment with it. So you can get some usability out of it, but doing like a significant upgrade on this computer is not worth it. So let's see why it's not worth much. Because the issues with the computer is a very weak CPU, and it has an FM2 socket. This FX series, it's an AMD FX 870K CPU. It's like a AMD A10. So, and this CPU is very weak, and you cannot upgrade it to a better CPU. I think that was the best CPU on that FM2 socket. And you can only upgrade it to for regular everyday use, like browsing, emailing. But you can do some light gaming, like if you're okay with playing old games or pixel art style game or games like Minecraft, you can do that here. This thing already came with a discrete graphics card. I believe it was R7 350 2 gigabyte GPU, but you can upgrade to a little bit better 4GB GPU. As long as the GPU is slot powered, you should be okay. And this computer already came with like 16 gigabyte RAM, so you no need to do any kind of RAM upgrade. You are good on there, and those RAMs running at 1800 megahertz, so you should be good. And this thing also came with 2 terabyte hard drive. You can keep that 2 terabyte hard drive, but I would suggest to put a SSD in there, so that way you could get some usability out of this thing. So for the SSD upgrade, what you can do is just you can do it two ways. You can either clone the operating system from your 2 TB hard drive and get it to clone it, and just instead of the hard drive, you just plug in the SSD drive and it will work. But this is a free software called Macrium Reflect. So you can download the free version of this software and plug in your new SSD using a SATA cable and clone your hard drive to your new SSD drive, and then just plug it in. So it's very easy to do. When you plug it in, it will when you plug it in both your hard drive, you need to get to another computer, and when you plug in your new SSD drive and the old hard drive, they both will show up. Then you just need to, the whatever hard drive that you want to clone, you just click clone this disk right here, and then it will tell you where you want to clone to. Then select the disk to clone to. Then you want to select that SSD drive you want to clone. And when you're copying the partition, select that adjust the extend or shrink the partition to match the target disk. So that way you won't have any problem. But if this process seems like too much overwhelming, all you can do is just discard the old hard drive, erase it clean, and just put an SSD in there in place of the hard drive. And there is a Windows 10 Home license attached to the hardware of this computer. So all you have to do, just install Windows 10 Home by downloading an ISO, Windows 10 ISO from Microsoft website, and then create a bootable USB drive using the Rufus software. There are a lot of videos on YouTube how to do this. So just using a USB installation media, you can install the SSD drive. But for that, you need to get into the BIOS and select on the boot device priority list. You're gonna select that USB drive that you that bootable USB drive that you want to use. So all this very easy to do, And as for the GPU upgrade, like I said, this computer already came with an R7 350 GPU, 2 gigabyte, but you can get to a little bit better performance if you have the AMD FirePro. This thing's available for around $20 to $20 to $25. This graphics card is excellent for doing potato gaming, you know, and it's got 4 GB VRAM. Or you can also upgrade to GTX 950 or 1050 Ti. 950 is only have like 2 gigabyte memory, so I would suggest you to go for 1050 Ti, or a cheaper and better option would be AMD FirePro W5100. And no need to do like the power supply upgrade. You can do the power supply upgrade. Then you also have to get an adapter and all that stuff to make it work. But like I said, it's for this computer, it's not really worth it. Just do the GPU upgrade and SSD upgrade. But when you were doing the SSD upgrade or doing the GPU upgrade, make sure you download the correct driver, because you see this AMD FirePro, this is a professional GPU. So make sure you download the correct professional driver. This is the drive revision number 21.q2.1, and it was released back in 2021. So if you install that driver, you're good to go. And as for the benchmarking score from 3D Mark, this is a popular benchmarking software by Steam. Everybody uses it to use this thing to see how good their system is. So after upgrading my GPU and the SSD drive, I got a graphics score of 1262 and a CPU score of 1636. So as you can see, the CPU is very weak, and that's the graphics card you want to match with this weak CPU. So even putting an expensive or more powerful GPU is not going to be worth it. So just put that AMD FirePro W5100. That would be a perfect match for this system. And as for the Nova Bench score, as you can see, this is the AMD A10 CPU. Is only scored 200. So like I said, it was very weak. And for the GPU score, it was 67. Memory score, I only put like 8 gig memory in there because I didn't want to waste many resources for this computer. But you can, but this computer already came with 16 gig. So in here, you would probably get like a better score around like 225. And after doing a SSD upgrade, I got a SSD score of 86. This is what you can expect. So like in here, I got like 522, but with a little bit of better memory score, you can get around like 600. So it's not very good, but it's just okay for everyday use. So as for the final verdict, it's not worth it for recent 3D gaming. But if you're okay with it's okay to use, you can get some usability out of this by using it for school, or like if you are okay with playing pixel art style game or games like Minecraft or old games, then you should be okay. So that's it for me today. If you have any question about these computers, feel free to leave it in the comment sections, and I will try my best to answer those questions.